Ha!
Get the beat. Act the fool.
Yep.
Wait, no. What
Lose
is it?
control of body and
Yes.
soul. This is
Walk
the same
like an
dude that's
infant.
this is the same dude that said mix your milk with my cocoa.
Cocoa
puffs." Milk.
Okay, I'm starting it. I'm starting it. Welcome to Films in Black and White, everybody.
Oh,
How are you all feeling? It is a great Monday to be with y'all. We're very, very excited. Welcome to Films in Black and White, everybody. Season 5. We got a great episode. We're going to tell you a saga of all the different things that we have done, the places we've gone, the people we loved along the way. I don't know what that means, but you added into these type of
I
things.
don't love nobody
nice.
along the way. That's how you get an STD.
That's accurate, but also be protective, be smart.
Wear rubber.
Or yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's a different way to do that. There isn't. That is the only option we have. Brian,
Not gonna like
Hello.
Brian, you want to lay us down with that funky intro? Get everybody welcomed into this space?
Oh, man.
Yes, I do. Welcome to Films in Black and White. Just covering a few things before we get started. To make sure to check out our Patreon, you can find us by Googling it, Patreon Films in Black and White. That is how you get access to exclusive content like bonus episodes. You get to be a producer with some of our tiers, get to influence what we review. So go check that out. It's as cheap as buying a cup of coffee, as one of our super fans would say, Roman. So that's something you can do. Otherwise, you can go check us out on socials. We are Films in Black and White on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We're mainly on Instagram, but we're on TikTok and Facebook too. So go check us out. Give us a follow. You'll see some funny stuff. I guarantee it. So anyway, that's us. And now we're here to pod.
And we're gonna do that. Thank you, Brian. We are gonna try and that was just outstanding.
Great guy. Great.
It really is. It was awesome. The energy was perfect. The vibes were immaculate. But before we get into such a wonderful episode,
I feel to be good at everything.
it feels pretty good. I bet feels pretty good. We got to make sure everybody's thoroughly welcomed and introed and brought into this space. So I'm going to kick it on down to Marcus J. Destin, a.k.a. 5 times the pleasure, 5 times the fun. Marcus, how you feeling, sir?
I'm so glad to be goddamn back. We had some technical difficulties. I had some technical difficulties because I thought we was recording next week. But it turns out we're recording this week. So my black ass was unprepared, but nevertheless, happy to be here with my guys. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm live and in living color, and it's season fucking 5. This is whole new level shit, y'all. We on some whole new level. Last time you heard from us was last year, and James Gunn knows that the podcast exists.
It's true.
You never know what the fuck gonna happen this year.
It's very, very true. I can't help every time someone says new level, I can't help but think about that A$AP Ferg song. I'm on a new level.
Yeah, no, that's a good song.
That's just my favorite part. My favorite part is the ooh. Like the rest of the song I could do without, but within the first 30 seconds where he goes ooh, I'm like, sign me up.
Because
for
I
all
can
of it.
definitely see Doug walking around the house or in the middle of a run, and he could be dead tired, and all you're gonna hear is like, goo goo.
You'll hear that, and anytime there's a machine gun noise, like I could be on my deathbed, but if that song Coming In Hot shows up, he's like, I shoot my shot. Like I could be on my deathbed and I'm still gonna be like, like I just can't.
Shout out to Andy Mineo. That's a great fucking song.
Great song.
Great album.
It's amazing.
Okay. All right. This is Roman watting him more like watting damn.
Say it again.
That's
say it again.
Oh, so that's incredible. So thank you, Roman. You can wait.
I know I owe you a cup of coffee, Roman.
really
at this
do.
point, I'm gonna have to like come to your house and French press it or something. So
Yeah. Brian Roush,
Hello.
aka
What are your
Return of the Jedi. Brian,
me.
how are you feeling, sir?
Man, break was so good, and it was so good. I had so much pent up podcast energy because there was a point in time during my break. I didn't know what day it was. It was like one of the cheese days when you just like you're so full of cheese. And it's between Christmas and New Year's, and you're just like, I don't know. It's after Christmas, but it's before New Year's. I don't know what day of the week it is. Whatever. I call them my cheese days because I feel like cheese because I've been eating it so much. And like during one of those nights, I was like, man, I really just want to pod right now. Like I just want to get on and talk about this movie that I just saw, but I can't do that for 2 weeks. And that's like the moment where I was like, I want to go back. I need to go back. So it was a good break. I'm really happy to be back. I'm really happy to share what I watched because I watched Saltburn, and that movie's messed up. So
I'm very excited to hear about Saltburn, Brian. Yeah. Like I'm genuinely very excited.
Because I don't know what the fuck it is. I've heard about it, but Brian's the only person I know that's watched it.
I've heard somebody describe it, and I'm like, I don't know. Somebody asked me, "Have you seen Saltburn?" And I went, "No." And they went, "Oh, it's so messed up." And I went, "Oh God, okay, all right, that's fine." So,
what about you, Doug? How are you?
I'm doing great. Yes, congrats on your 100% completion, Brian.
I did 100% Spider-Man 2. I did platinum. So.
Thank you, because for the audio listeners, they don't know
that's a thing.
Yep, they didn't know. They didn't know
because he was like, they don't know.
Roman's comment flashed up. Marcus is frozen in time, everyone. So
yeah,
you just told Brian.
There he is.
You just told Brian, hey, congratulations on your 100% completion with no context.
That's true. He did that. He took that Spider-Man to complete completion. Like that's where he took it, and that's
nothing I can say here.
Puerto Rican princess, how was your break, man?
It was a mixture. It was both great because I was able to get about, I was able to see family, I was able to celebrate the holidays. Yeah. But there were some travel moments in my life that I would just rather leave behind me in 2023. Forever. The day after Christmas, had to delay some travel because of an ice storm, which was really great. Then I tried to get on a United flight, and they said like, "Ooh, not this one," because the plane, we're not so confident in the plane, and they just canceled the bitch outright.
The door might fly off.
We don't know. We don't know. Do you know how surreal it is to be like, "Hey, Doug, we canceled your flight because we're worried the door might just fly off"?
Do you thank them for the honesty, or are you pissed because they canceled your flight?
Well, retrospectively, man, I would have much rather been on that one. Like, even with the risk, I think I would have rather been on that one because the next day I was supposed to go to Puerto Rico. And so I drove up to Sioux Falls the night before. I spent the night in a sleep in Sioux Falls.
Ooh,
then I woke up. No shots at the sleep in. It was very nice. Although, that's another story. I'll tell you. Put a pin in it because I have another story. So anyway, I wake up and I'm like, oh shit, there is like 3 inches of snow on the ground and it is still snowing. And so I go to the airport and then I sit at the airport for like what felt like years. And then they had to de-ice the plane, which was a lot of fun. And then I missed a connection. So traveling there was just a nightmare. Coming back, my car wouldn't start and it was minus 20 degrees outside and I didn't have any gloves or boots. So it was real great. And so there's that. My funny story from the hotel is that, has this ever happened to you where you're staying in a hotel and you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, where's that noise coming from?
Oh yeah,
like, I gotta find that noise. So I had to search. I had to figure out how to turn a fridge off in a room I've never slept in before in the pitch black because it was making a weird noise that woke me up. So it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot, everybody. But
you're struggling, boy.
The benefit was I got to watch like 8 movies. Because I spent so much time in the airport. Yeah. So I have a lot for us to talk
about. That's what it's all about.
That's absolutely what it's all about. Gentlemen, so before we get into our little like hey, what have we been reading, what have we been watching, what have we been getting into over the break, we do need to play a rousing game of Catch That Quotable.
Rousing.
Silky sounds of Marcus J. With that microphone, your Catch That Quotable sounds.
Does it sound like accurate?
Real nice.
Got it.
It sounds really, really nice.
Gotta up the mic.
You brought it, and I appreciate it. So for those that don't know and are just joining us, Catch That Quotable is where we guess quotes submitted by you, the audience. We are getting those via Patreon. So patreon.com/films in black and white. Our Patty family members are giving us those. So this one comes from Patreon. Gentlemen, are you ready for this week's quote?
Hit me.
Hit me. All right, here we go. This one might be a little bit of a soft lob, but here we go. It's a great way to start. Here's the quote. Ask me
Soft
about...
lob was my name and my nickname in high school.
God.
Sorry.
It's that microphone
Sorry.
energy. It's that microphone energy. It's
It
okay.
is.
It's okay. It's okay.
It is the
It's okay.
microphone energy. Sorry.
It's okay. Ask me about my wiener.
I know it.
I
know it.
I also know it. But
I
yeah,
know it.
I'll read it one more time.
What a way
Ask
to kick
me
off
about
season
my
5.
wiener. Yeah. We all know this, right?
Ask me about my wiener.
I know
Ask me about my
Jonah Hill.
wiener.
It's Justin Long. It's
Yep.
Lewis Black. I don't remember
is.
the woman lead in it.
I also don't remember the woman lead in it.
I don't remember who the woman lead is.
Who is the woman leading?
I don't remember.
don't know.
She's probably great.
SHIT University.
South Harmon Institute of Technology.
Yeah, that's right. South Harmon Institute.
I don't know. What the name is
Accepted.
accepted. That's what it was.
Yeah, is accepted.
Thank you.
I'm gonna look up.
Blake Lively.
Oh my God, it was.
Is it Blake Lively?
Yeah.
Oh, it
Okay.
is Blake Lively.
Oh man, if we ever have Ryan Reynolds on the podcast, he's gonna bring this up.
Yeah, he's gonna be upset about that.
Yeah.
You don't even know my wife's name, but you want
That
me
was
to
such
come
a-
on the pod? Yeah, I don't.
That was such a quick-
She's unrecognizable in that. I'm looking at some of these photos now, and I'm like, I can't believe that was Blake Lively.
I'm not sure if she wants to be remembered for that role in particular, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
Not that it's bad. I enjoyed
No,
it.
I enjoyed it. It's a great movie. It's
Yeah.
just
No, it is a good movie.
yeah.
Well, we
Well,
got it. So
There we go. Hey,
kind of
starting season 5 off
anticlimactic season
with
5.
a win.
Love that.
You know what this means? This means next week is going to be
It'll be
fucking
hard.
impossible.
It'll be
Like
hard,
it's
too.
going to be a movie from 1966 about the Pope, and we're going to be like, "What the fuck
Yep.
movie was that?"
Yep.
It was
It's gonna
all,
be, yeah.
all My Father's Helpers. Like, and we're going to be like, "I don't even know what that movie is."
Then turns out it's gonna be a old Disney movie that,
Right,
that
yep.
they tried to hide.
I kind of want to play a game where like 3 of us, there's one real movie, and then the other 2 of us have like fake, like just fake movie names
Oh
for it.
God.
Just try to find the real one. Anyway,
Yeah.
no, I'm looking at the poster for Accepted. It is very much Blake Lively. So yeah,
I
my
just pulled her
apologies
up
to
on
Blake.
IMDb, and I was like, "Okay, yep, now I've got it right there in my head."
Totally forgot she was in this movie. So
Yeah.
that's a good one. That's a good one to rewatch.
It almost
It's
feels
easy.
like, okay, you did Van Wilder, you did Accepted. Now you both have one weird college comedy.
They got the college comedy. I mean, that's clearly the stepping stones
Mhm.
to success.
To a long marriage.
Yeah, clearly.
To a long
Clearly.
marriage.
So,
Yeah.
good for her.
Gentlemen, what? Oh, I was like, what is he talking about? Marcus just told us that his Wi-Fi is quote unquote shitting itself, and I was like, what is he talking about? It's like,
What
I
the
had-
fuck is the purpose of me paying all this money for Wi-Fi? This shit is gonna cut out every time I
Oh
do
my
something. I don't understand.
I don't. It's
Ugh.
buddy.
It baffles me.
It's like your whole system didn't know that you were recording
Oh,
today.
none of
Yeah.
us. My computer, my microphone, my interface, nothing was ready today to record.
Yeah.
Nothing at all, except me and my heart.
And
Like-
that's all that matters. If you have recording in your heart, it too can come true.
We're easing into this, okay? We didn't bring a movie. We just
Yeah.
brought ourselves
No
We did.
Vaseline.
like a
Let's-
with a smorgasbord of movies. This is like this is like a charcuterie board. of movies. Okay, that's what we brought today. We didn't bring the salad. We didn't bring the main dish. We brought the charcuterie plate. We're gonna have a little bit of that, a little bit of this.
And I bought it at Walmart 10 minutes ago. Like I didn't even cut the shit. I just bought the
cheese is a little bit expired.
I bought the Hormel, like
it's really just a lunchable. It's not even a charcuterie board. It's a lunchable.
Yes.
No. I brought the boar's head, like spicy sausage.
Oh, so Brian's fancy. That's what I heard.
Look, if you're gonna do this, you should have good meat. Like
I'm an advocate for having good meat.
I mean, you can skimp on the crackers. Like you can get the Ritz crackers, call it a day.
To me, the cheese is important. I don't necessarily give a shit about the meat or the crackers, but that cheese better be.
I don't like to eat the meat, but I'll deliver good meat. And then the cheese is like the cheese has to be a certain type of cheese. Like I like the white. It's some type of, I don't know cheeses. I feel like white people know cheese, and I feel like black people and people of color are lactose intolerant by nature. And so I feel like I never got the cheese rundown of like IPAs, different type of beers, and cheese are not the things that were like in my immediate culture.
That's fair. So what we're saying is that this podcast won't be sponsored by
cheese or any type of IPA.
No IPAs and no cheese. Look, y'all, if you are a potential business owner that makes cheese or IPAs exclusively, we're sorry. We're not going to be able to help out.
Not to discriminate.
You reach out to us and look, we all bring something. All right. We all bring something. That's what we brought. We brought the charcuterie plate, and then people look at it like, this is a Films in Black and White charcuterie plate. Okay, I got it. All right.
Yeah.
Smoked Gouda.
Well, we do need more. Apparently, we need more Patreon members to upgrade Marcus's Wi-Fi. I want to ask him more about the cheese. Like, what did it look like? Like, what did the white cheese look like? Did it have holes in it? But his fucking Wi-Fi is gonna freeze, so it's gonna look like he's gonna struggle to tell me about the cheese.
What an incredible bit! Incredible bit!
Don't use your white privilege on me because I can't name cheese.
I'm just asking.
I feel like it's that cheese that you cook for that they deep fry and they cheese.
Oh, mozzarella.
Is that mozzarella? Oh no, it's not that.
Or is it cheddar? Because there's a white cheddar and there's an orange cheddar.
No, it's something a little bit fancier, but it's not. It doesn't really have a shape.
Maybe like a
Swiss cheese.
No, not
like Swiss. A goat cheese, maybe.
Oh, goat cheese is good. Maybe it's more of a feta, like a goat.
Okay,
feta.
like a crumbly cheese.
Something like that. Like you know what I mean.
I think if you know
feta.
If you know more, first off, if you know about feta, you know about fucking cheese.
Actually,
like that's the way that this works. Okay,
that's not true. Feta is like bottom tier, low hanging fruit cheese. That's like if I need to sound fancy, you grab Gouda, Munster, and feta.
Look at this.
And brie. Yeah,
and
those
brie.
are 3 different types of cheese that you've just named off the top of your head.
I don't know what they look like. If you showed them to me, I'd be like, bitch, this is cheese.
One knows what they look like. That's the best part. You cut the ends off, and it's like 2-3 different types of white cheese. Make one of them up.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell y'all the story when I was working at Subway? And the guy that was this guy, right? I ended up writing a diss track about him, but so you can go and find it on. You can find it on SoundCloud. It's what's it called? It's called.
We'll put a link in the episode.
It's funny. Like when I first started making music, it's a J. Cole remix, but I put a line in there about him because he came in. This was years ago. He came in there, and I was making like sandwiches, and I was like the one that people would request when like they wanted a sandwich made because I would hold them down, right? And so, this guy, he would come out there. It was kind of like after the rush. So I went up and picked up this guy and going through making sandwiches. I asked him like, what kind of cheese would you like? And this guy says, oh, the best cheese there is, white American. And I said, oh, you motherfucker. Do you know how creative a racist got to be to make a racist remark through cheese?
Christ.
It's
Get out.
creative as fuck. It's like it blew me away, and I was just kind of like,
Wow.
Sir,
Oh,
I
man.
am a sandwich artist. I do not have time for your bullshit.
No.
it's like, I was just like, all right, man, yeah, whatever. I just threw his shit in the toaster and like just kept it going. I didn't know how to respond to that. Because what am I supposed to say? Black cheese is better? Like, what the fuck? Like,
No, that
it don't
cheese is
even
gross.
sound
Don't
good.
eat black cheese.
Yeah.
Don't eat black cheese, everybody.
Yeah.
Don't eat.
I mean,
I'll let
It's
the
not
white
safe.
man have white cheese because black cheese
Nah.
ain't a good rebuttal. So
hey,
that's my
ugh.
story.
You should have put all.
Gross.
You know what you should do? You should have made it all black olives on there just to
All black
as
everything.
a response.
Just
All black
olives and pepper.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Terrible,
Yep.
You know what you
terrible.
can't taste? Your white ass cheese with these black olives and this
Seriously.
black pepper on here,
Yep.
bitch.
You have to go remix it now with that audio.
I'm gonna go back and then I'm gonna add that to the diss track. Yeah, you're right.
What you need to do is, like around Thanksgiving, they're like, I got yams, jams, bams, potatoes, beans. You got to do that, but it has to be all black food. I have black olives, and that's all you can really do.
Yep.
'Cause that's it. Black Forest ham, like that's not it.
Black Forest ham is crazy.
Yeah, it's wild shit that we don't need to be that specific about ham.
I mean, I do appreciate how specific you got though. That was
Thanks.
fun.
I did do my best. We have a whole ass episode to get to. Before we jump into the what have we been reading, watching over this break? Anything you all want to talk about, right off the rip?
Yeah, I want to plug this water bottle I'm drinking. So I got this thing over break, and it's called a Circle, right?
Okay.
And so this Circle
Okay.
has a removable compartment at the top, which is our a flavor. This is where the flavor are.
Oh.
So you can keep the rest of this and just exchange the flavor, and it helps you with how much water you're consuming, because at the top it has different levels that you turn it to of how much flavor you want from the pack. And so I can drink all water or go to a 10, and right now I'm drinking, which is one of their brands. So Circle is really, really dope. And it's really convenient just to buy the packages. They're really cheap. The website also offers a lot of different ways to customize it too. So I thought this was pretty fly. So shout out to Circle.
Wow.
That's a lot more about water than I thought I was gonna get.
Hey,
So
you learn something new every day.
that's
We
true.
do say to drink water.
I
so-
do have a question, a follow-up question about the water bottle.
Yes, sir. You in the back.
Do I have to use Circle's brands of flavoring, or can I make my own?
You can do whatever you want inside of the bottle, but I would the only way that your bottle is fully compatible is through Circle products. But luckily for you, they have a variety of flavors that are readily available for you to purchase through Amazon and directly through the website. And they have, for you, Doug, energy capsules as well. So they have
I do need at
energy.
least 2 energy capsules
Really
to
good
get me
stuff.
through my day.
It's really good stuff. Really good stuff. So shout out to Circle, the only brand I trust.
Sponsor us, Circle, while you can. My man is drinking the product right there, and he knew far more than I expected him to know. I thought he was just gonna be like, "This is a fun water bottle." Well, moving on. But here we are.
You know, when I get behind a brand, I get behind that motherfucker like doggy.
Yeah, you do.
That's
you line up
eerily accurate. Yes,
Yeah.
that is horrifyingly accurate. Yeah, he's
Love that.
like
I
a
love that.
center and a quarterback. That's how well that they know each other.
Just hands right in there.
Just right up in it. Brian,
hello.
Here to start us off with what you have read and watched,
man.
and maybe even perchance listened to over this break, sir.
Like a center and a
man.
quarterback.
I
No, wait a
listened-
minute, hold on. I played center in high school, and I tell you one of the things that made me masculinity is a big thing when you play in sports in high school, and everything is considered oh, that's so gay, or oh, this is so this or that. I'm over all that shit now. But at the time, being a center and the quarterback is right up the crack of your ass, there's nothing more intimate than that moment in time.
for real.
Yeah, one wrong snap and it's all over.
Yeah.
Dipping his fingers in the pudding if he's not doing it right.
Oh,
if you pick me up.
Ugh. Wow. Sir,
All right,
that
anyway,
visual.
Back to you, Brian.
Man.
Oh,
Wow.
take it
I
away,
mean,
Brian. Welcome back, season 5,
really-
everybody.
Really, what is there to say about something like that? But I can tell you
What have you been reading and watching while I talk about what's up?
All right, get ready for this hard right turn. So no, I've been everything. I finished. I hit my book goal, so that was really exciting.
Congratulations, Brian.
Yeah, I read Green Lantern Far Sector, which came out about 2-3 years ago.
Oh,
and it was written by N.K. Jemisin, I think.
Mhm.
And man, that's the most fun I've had reading a Green Lantern story in a long time. So if you haven't checked out Far Sector, it's a great Green Lantern story. It's totally divorced from any of the other Green Lantern lore, which makes it just really good. And then the main character, Sojourn, Joe for short, she's phenomenal. Like, she's so much fun.
Love it.
And just, man, I really wish they did more, like more of her in Green Lantern, like that, just more of her and just investigating stuff. Like, she's a detective and it's a good kind of noir thriller. Anyway, I'm getting away from myself. Anyway,
That's okay.
I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun reading that.
Is it R, Brian, like the letter R, or our OUR? Because it's R sector, right?
Oh, far sector.
Sorry, I thought you said
hour too.
I thought you said R sector, and I was like,
right.
is that an R?
Look, I was so excited to pivot away from pudding that I started speaking really fast.
I get
it. No, it's far sector.
I take that. That's my fault.
I own that as well.
That's all right. That's all right. No, I read that. I also read the Britney Spears memoir, and that blew me away. Because Spotify has books now, so
what?
Spotify Premium has books now, and so like the Britney Spears memoir popped up for me, and it was like, hey, you listen to Britney, and I'm like, I do, and it's like, you should read her book, and I was like, all right, and I didn't know what I was gonna get, and then I started reading it, and I'm like, good golly, ma'am, like, you need to like lay down for like a decade based on everything you've been through. Man, lots of dirt in there too. She throws shade at JT. Most of that's been out. But man, she's just it's like part of it's just like going through the heart of darkness when she's talking about her conservatorship, and it's just like, how did it get to this point? From like anyone around her, which is just nutty. So some of those parts were like really tough to get through and not what I was expecting from a Britney Spears memoir. But no, it was really cool to hear how she like made some of her music as well. And just like how she's very proud of the Blackout album. Had no idea about that, which I feel like it is. I don't know about Britney
tell you
fans,
what's on the Blackout album.
Gimmy's on there.
Okay.
I gotta.
Oh, now I got it. Yep.
Yeah. And she talks about that performance at the VMAs too, and she was like, it's wild. She's like, yeah, I didn't rehearse enough. I didn't like it. I didn't feel good. I just had a baby. Like, no, this is not going to be a good performance. But she went out and did it anyway. So, I don't know. That was fascinating. Like, and it's a short read too. Like, if you're someone that's like, man, I don't need another, like,
I don't need something that's going to take me 8 years to get through.
Yeah. Like, if it's short, it's short. You're in, you're out, and you're on your way. But no, I mean, like, Blackout has Piece of Me, Radar, like a lot of kind of, to me, some of the bangers. So yeah. Anyway, that's
awesome.
what I was reading. So awesome. I don't know. What about you all for reading? Y'all get any reading done over the break?
Wait, Brian, what was your I had to grab my charger here in a little bit because I just hopped on my hotspot. So because of Wi-Fi shit. But Brian, what was your reading goal?
25 books for the year. So nice. and it's any books, so like graphic novels count. Nice. and yeah, like it doesn't have to be a certain length or anything like that. So what do you put? So yeah, it was 25. I'm gonna shoot for 26 this year. We'll see what happens. I almost didn't make it. Like, it was a little touch and go there for a minute.
I like that goal though. 25 is like a solid number for a year and with a family. Like that's good.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I mean, that's half of it. Like when you have kids, like I can't concentrate on this at all because you just like keep saying the same word in my ear over and over again, and then somebody's brother's screaming,
Dad, look at Dad, look at me, Dad, and you're like, I looked, it wasn't that cool.
Well,
like
I also tried to listen to the Britney book, like, when I was around my kids, and, like, some of the stuff that she's talking about, she's talking about being in a rehab facility at one point. She's like, "Anyway, I was sent here against my will." I'm like, I can't do these vibes right now while I'm trying to give somebody, like, peanut butter." Like, obviously, and I respect the story. I respect the story, but, like, the vibes are off when, she's talking about, like, "Anyway, these paparazzi were around me and I snapped and I know I shouldn't have." And it's like, yeah, I need to wait till like,
I
fully
need to
understand what's
not
happening in
be
this
a
story.
thing.
Bad time to snap.
That's not a great time to snap. But
no.
Marcus, anything you read this over break?
I'll be honest, didn't do a lot of reading. Kind of caught up on some leadership books, just things that I needed
That's good.
from the leadership books that I was reading. And then was trying to get back into this book, Black Boy Joy, that I have. That's oh God, who is that by? I have it somewhere. Michael Lewis Giggets.
Nice.
Sorry, Tracy Michael Lewis Giggets book, Black Boy Joy, which was a gift from my dad. But other than that, we did a lot of traveling. I really was doing a lot of listening to music.
Yep.
Watching a lot of movies that we'll talk about. So really, that Drake album, For All the Dogs, the Scary Hours edition, has been like on repeat for me.
Oh.
And then 21 Savage's American Dream album has been on repeat for me for like the past 2 days too as well. And then Nicki Minaj's album, I started that one but didn't get a chance to finish, but I like Nicki's album too as well. So those are the things I got in rotation right now.
I have listened to Nicki's album every day for like the past 2.5 weeks, and I'm in love with that album so much.
It's for it to be like a Pink Friday 2 anything following up Pink Friday was going to be tough anyway. So for it to be a sequel and the music to be as good as it is, as far as I've gotten so far,
gosh,
killed it.
I mean, like, oh my gosh, Falling for You, I think it's like the 4th track on the album. I've never heard an artist sing a song about falling in love for someone, but it sounds like a threat. And I love this song as this beautiful paradox. And she's like, I mean, we all know how Nicki sings and raps, so it's like it sounds like you're threatening me right now, Nicki, but it sounds like you're also
some people are really into that.
And I'm sure they are, but
we don't kink shame.
Some people are really into being scared a little bit because it's a little terrifying sometimes, and it's really exciting. Some people like to be scared.
Is he pointing at him?
Yeah, some people some people
pointing at himself
like to be a little nervous.
Hey, brother, I support you 1000%, whatever it is that you want to do.
See the Nicki Doug energy a little bit. I mean, it's just like she's very forward, like, hey, this is happening and you better watch out. And you're
it's
like,
a New York love story by any means.
Sure.
Yeah, really, like if you go outside, it's like, I love you, B, like that kind of like New York Bronx energy.
Okay. Like
okay. What do I do with this? Okay, thanks. Well, and some of the samples on some of those later tracks, like, oh my gosh, Everybody with Lil Uzi Vert, like, oh my gosh, had that on repeat. Pink Friday Girls, Super Freaky Girl, like she's doing some really cool samples there.
Fuck
too.
The Club Up is also good too.
Fuck the Club Up was my so I had to do some presentations when I was going to work, like when I was in Puerto Rico for work, and the last thing that I listened to before I left my hotel room was Fuck the Club Up.
For me and Brian on the same page of like, where in the conference did you play Fuck the Club Up?
That's
I played Fuck the Club Up. They're like, okay, Doug, you're gonna have to give a presentation on your company's values to a bunch of people you've never met before. I'm like, fuck. All right, let's fucking do this. So like a boxer getting ready to go out, I was that was just me.
I was picturing a situation where you're like, all right, and here's this video, and then you just like hit that track and it's just blasted. Like
cross my arms and just be like, what do you all think?
Yeah. What about it?
Give that guy a raise.
Yeah.
No, I've definitely, after I dropped the kids off at school, like I definitely like turned up my car volume to like 99%. And I'm like, let's do it. Like we're doing it. We're doing this.
Roman Myers, I see you in the chat too. Said he's been listening to Connor Price. Love Connor Price.
Yeah.
And if you like Connor Price and you're not listening to Nick D, I think Roman listens to Nick D though. But those two guys as a combo, they put out a joint mixtape that was also really good too.
Really?
They did. It was actually really good. So I like that a lot. But Doug, Puerto Rican Princess, reading, watching, listening. What's up?
I have never been, unless it comes from Brian or Marcus, I've never been like a full album listen guy. Like, it's
What?
just, I just can't. Like, I find the songs that I like and I lean into those.
Okay. No,
You know what I mean? So it's like,
you can't commit to the whole album. I
right,
understand.
because if it
I
doesn't
understand.
if it doesn't slap, I'm gonna skip it. Like, that's just the way it works. Like, if it doesn't slap, I'm gonna skip it.
Like
So
bangers only. Don't waste my
I
time.
tend to be a bangers only type of dude. So
I
like,
get it. I
and
get
it's
it.
hard. So it's hard for me.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of reading though.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, what'd you read?
we did some major car trips. And so I actually went on a Michael Lewis kick. So
Oh,
I read two
okay.
books. I read a book called Going Infinite.
Oh,
And so Going Infinite is a book about Michael Lewis follows Sam Bankman-Fried. So for those that don't know who Sam
okay.
Bankman-Fried is, Sam Bankman-Fried is the founder and CEO of FTX.
Oh my gosh.
And so
Okay. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I listened to all of the book Going Infinite, and it is just an incredible
Jeez.
insight into there's a lot of it's about the corruption associated with
Yeah.
FTX. It's about the like dealings, but it's also really interesting as a character case study on who this kid was. I mean, he was the
Yeah.
youngest billionaire to date. I mean, his
Right.
at one point in time, FTX was valued at like $8 billion. Like,
I
and so
mean,
it's just insane the amount, and it's really the crypto side of it. After hearing how crypto works,
yeah.
I really don't know why anybody would fuck with it.
It is just so unstable and it doesn't even like there's just nothing. There's no
Yeah.
safety net at
There's
all.
no safety net. And the thing that's wild to me, and I'll tell you a little bit about like the story a story from the book, and I'm not giving anything away, but
Yeah.
right around when FTX was founded, they
Mhm.
were trading in a type of Bitcoin. No, they were trading in a type of cryptocurrency. And there
Yeah.
was a big issue between Sam Bankman-Fried and the other founders of FTX because they just couldn't find $2 million worth of this cryptocurrency. And when I say like, oh, they couldn't find it, I mean, they
They lost
weren't sure if they had it. They weren't sure if the other exchange that they were trading it with had it. They
problem.
literally couldn't find it. And then like 2 months later, someone from like China was like, we have like 800 pieces of this cryptocurrency. Do you want us to give it back to you? Like,
Wow.
they couldn't find it. And so the fact that you can trade it and not find it, and then secondly, that the whole thing can collapse and you're just
I
like,
mean,
well, you know that money you had, you just don't have it now.
I mean, crypto just feels so scammy. Like I already
It's
feel like a
dripping in
lot of
scam.
well, and I feel like a lot of Wall Street stuff is scammy already, and I know it's
Yeah.
not, and I understand how to play the game and all that, but like even then, it just really feels like this doesn't feel your money could go away, right?
Yeah.
With some of those higher risk bets, and then like cryptocurrency like looks at that and it's like, what if it was worse?
Yes.
Just-
Basically. Yeah. Basically, like, and what if you couldn't regulate it
yeah,
at all? And
I
they're like,
mean,
why would we want to do that? And they're like, you want to do that.
Go on.
And then
I mean that's the thing that with crypto and stuff like that as it existed on like Twitter and X and things
yeah,
like that was you paid all this money for I saw like the vision of what it could have been like unrestricted government
sure.
can't touch it like on paper I think it makes the most sense but what it actually became I think everybody didn't get behind the one thing or the thing to be. It seemed like there
Yeah.
were like a million different versions of it.
Yeah.
And to a certain point, you got to be like, how do I know if Doge versus this versus
Yeah.
that? And then politicians and big celebrities are pushing specific ones for their own benefit to run up the stock.
The amount of money that company threw at their marketing arm was insane. I mean, if you just look at the numbers, they paid Tom Brady and his wife at the time, Gisele Bundchen, they paid them like $35 million for only like 8 ads.
Yep. But I imagine they either got that return back or they were hoping that kind of return should have came back if you got Tom Brady promoting some shit.
And what they were trying, and it was really kind of interesting as the insight into like a marketing effort, because they were like, the goal was to say, well, if Tom Brady trades with FTX, then you should too, and you should feel confident and comfortable too. it's just, so I get what you're trying to do, and I mean, with dudes that were really into football and who were like really jacked about it, it could work. Like it, I mean, I hate to say it, but it could work. And so there was a lot there. So I read that, and then I read another book by him called, I read Moneyball. You're all familiar with Moneyball. And that was really good. Very different from the movie. Like very, very, very different from the movie. So it was just very fascinating to see the ones and zeros of all of it. So I really, 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 really enjoyed that. So, but that's what I read. Like I said, I didn't really do a whole lot of listening because I tend to be a one track over and over and over, not one album. So that's just who I am. But
I love a full album. Listen, I love I guess that's the vinyl collector in me though. Is like I don't buy any vinyls that I know I'm not able to listen to an entire project.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, like my number one rule. I love a full album.
I do love a full album, but I do understand what you say though, Doug, about like all killer, no filler. Cause like sometimes you don't have time for those like 48-second tracks that are just like vibes on a soundscape. And you're like, are you okay? Like, are you good? Did you fall asleep? What's happening here? But I also appreciate the whole vibe of the album. And I think it's also like the myth of Pink Friday of knowing that was just, I mean, that's a solid platinum hit. So you're just like, I'll go along with it. Like, I'll trust you, Nikki.
There's
one more book. Genre matters too, though. But
it does. It does. One more book I forgot that I started and that I'm in the middle of reading right now is I bought the collected comic book. I bought the comic book collection for House of X, Powers of X, the thing that kicked off the most recent. Not X of Swords, but the thing that was right before that kicked off the whole Krakoan age. Because I realized I was reading things from around this, and I was like, I don't necessarily, I know what's going on. I kind of can infer about what's going on. But when I was reading this, I was like, oh shit! Like, there's a lot more at this that I didn't know. Like, I didn't know that Moira Taggart was a mutant.
So, well, yeah. I mean, there's so like, just to interrupt really quickly, the amount of mythology and like world building they did with Krakoa is almost a book. Like, it's almost a universe in itself. Like, you almost don't even need X-Men for it.
It's a 500-page collected edition. Ooh, like it's 500 pages.
That's nutty.
And to Brian, to add this to another level, they're trying to show, and they're doing a good job. They're trying to show like, why do the X-Men need their own space?
Yeah.
And why do they need their own area? And so they'll do like the year before that they call X0, and then they'll do 10 years later, which they're calling X1. But then they also will randomly cut to 100 years in the future, like randomly for no reason, when the Sentinels are even worse. And you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Show your work. Show your work.
They are thorough in showing their work. The Moira stuff is what I just finished with. Yeah. And her mutation is insane. Like, to me. Do you guys know what it is?
No.
It was complicated, and
it's very complicated.
I could stumble through it, but I don't know how to say it concisely.
So here's her mutation. Her mutation is she remembers all of it. And you're like, well, Doug, what do you mean? What does she remember all of it? So she'll die, and then remember when she's born with all of the knowledge from her past life.
Yeah, like so even as an infant, right?
Even as an infant.
Yeah.
So like they were talking about like 5 years into this mutation, and they were like, she came out of the womb talking, writing, and reading, and people called her like a prodigy. And so there are sections where, because she's trying to figure out like, how do I live the longest? So she was like, she did one, she was like, okay, in this life, I marry Charles. In this life, I don't marry Charles. In this life, I completely reject Charles and I support Magneto. Well, that didn't work. So in this life, I completely support Apocalypse and I help bring his 4 horsemen like into existence.
Jesus Christ.
She just fucking tries all of it to try to get to a point where she's like, we collectively heal from this. And then so that's sort of how it picks up with Krakoa is she tells Charles all of this, and then she's like, these are all the things I've seen and how it doesn't work, and the only way it works is if you and Magneto work together to have your own space. And so that's where I last left off. So I'm not even finished with it, but it's such a robust story.
It takes such a right turn during
yeah.
X Lives and Deaths of Wolverine.
Yes.
Which again, it's so zany. And like I think that the thing I know is that this thread, this arc has got so hyped that somebody's gonna want to adapt it for like a movie. And I feel like that is like the wrong thing to do.
Oh, it's completely the wrong thing to do.
It's so bold, and I feel like that's the reason people like it and people enjoy it, because you are seeing like the realization of their utopia, and that is bold, and it's hard to make that entertaining and engaging. And I just man, like we know you listen, Marvel, because things we have said have come to fruition. So just like don't touch it. Like don't worry about it. Let it be, because it's too weird. And your general audience, you're trying to hit all 4 quadrants. You're not gonna with this one.
You all are gonna Marvel. You are gonna have to make some pretty serious concessions to the Disney formula if it's gonna work.
Yeah.
Like never until this point. So the X-Men First Class was the first time that I really truly saw on screen Magneto be vindictive for how humans treated him.
Right.
Like that scene at the beginning with Michael Fassbender, where he is like just taking all this shit off the wall and he's just cutting people to pieces and essentially doing the same thing that was done to him and to his mother and to other people during the Holocaust. Never until that point had you seen any of that. It was hinted at with Sir Ian McKellen's because he was bending the gate, but you never saw the brutality of that motivation. And in order to do Krakoa, you are going to have to lean into mutants it goes every other race of people, and then down here in the gutter is people who have the X gene. Because they get completely mistreated, and until you're willing to go there and until you're ready to
Disney's too soft.
They can't touch it and get away with it without doing the go woke, grow having to fight that whole battle. So but that's what I read. So
I dig it.
We all watched a lot. Brian, do you want to talk a little bit about some of the things you watched?
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of I don't have a whole I don't know. I'm just gonna start talking and make it conversational here. I'll start with Saltburn, since we talked about that at the top of the show. So like Marcus had talked about, I saw a lot of people talking about this movie, and I was like, I don't understand what this hype is. And so bunkered down, watched it one night. And it is messed up. Saltburn is messed up. This is not a first date movie. This is not a
that's good to
movie. This is talented Mr. Ripley vibes is one of the best ways I can describe it, because most of it takes place at this very posh, wealthy British estate. And so it's mainly contained, but it does have what I'm going to call a significant prologue. I'm not going to go into a ton of spoilers with it, but essentially they're it sets up all of these relationships, and then they go to the Saltburn mansion and stuff gets weird. Just way there's weird,
sexy weird, murder weird.
Oh, there's weird sex stuff. Weird murder stuff. There's weird relationship stuff. There is a romance scene in this movie that I recoiled at, and we're enjoying it. Just gonna leave it there. And it's literally something I've never seen in a movie, and I was like, okay, this is happening.
Who stars in it?
Yeah, I can pull up the cast.
Barry Keoghan does.
Yeah,
the guy who played
darling of the podcast,
the Joker.
Yes.
Yeah, Barry Keoghan. The guy from Euphoria is also in this too, I do believe, right? The handsome, tall guy that everybody seems to love. That's a good description.
Jacob Elordi.
Yes.
Rosamund Pike plays a mother figure. Richard E. Grant plays the father figure. We do have so this is also, by the way, this comes from the mind of Emerald Fennell, who you may remember from Promising Young Woman.
Yep.
So she makes a very, very brief appearance, but Carey Mulligan is in this. I have to write her down, but but yeah, she's in this for a very brief moment. But if you really want to mess with your head, this is a great movie to watch. This is, if you are easily offended, do not watch this movie.
Oh, okay.
Like I cannot stress it enough. Like if Pierre Bergman, yes, is also in Saltburn. Good call out. So again, like I'm not gonna say this is like genre defining or anything, but if you want kind of like a messed up, I'm not gonna call it a mystery, but like kind of thriller vibes, kind of drama vibes. This is a good movie. There's stuff in here you've never seen before. But if you're grossed out easily, don't watch this movie.
Oh, okay. I could do that.
See, now I kind of want to watch it. Like that's because I want to see how gross it is.
Yeah, not how gross it is. I just want to see what the premise is, because it was a trend. It started some type of trend on TikTok of people running around the house, and I had zero idea what the reference was because I just didn't know what the movie was, but it was from Saltburn. It was like,
I mean, these are rich kids. I mean, basically all these kids meet at Oxford and they go to Saltburn for the summer in between academic years. And these are all very well-to-do children, college students, and they like money is not an object. So and basically Barry Keoghan's character Oliver, he does not come from that. He was able to go on a scholarship. So it's a little bit of that type of story. And things evolve from there in ways that I did not predict. Yeah, like I want to keep some stuff intact with it, but yeah, like it's
sexy,
not for the faint of heart.
I don't know what. I don't think I'll watch that. Doug, you watch and then report back to me.
I will ease into it.
Please let me know, like when you watch it.
Okay,
I'm not gonna make Brittany watch it because I can already tell.
This is not wave off. This is not that.
Brittany would never forgive Brian for this one.
I would take the blame because Brian's saying not to watch it with her, so I'm not gonna like be like, oh yeah, Brian told me that you had to see this. Like that'd be a pretty shitty friend. That would be me trying to just continue the drama just so that way there's more drama.
Shits and gigs.
Yeah.
I need you to stop doing the podcast with Brian.
Yeah, sweet. Brian has some issues and we need to talk about it. Like, yeah, he might. Marcus, what sir did you get into?
I got a lot into rewatching a lot of things, but really into Percy Jackson right now, the new series, the new Percy Jackson series on Disney Plus. I think they put out 3 episodes originally for the premiere. And so I did those, and I'm all caught up. I think those come out every Tuesday.
Yeah, they're doing a Tuesday release for that.
Tuesday release. So that's kind of interesting for the week because it allows me to like forget that it came out. So usually at the end of the week, I'm going back to rewatch it on Tuesday. So that's really good.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing. We've like forgot, and then it's like Friday, and it's like, oh yeah, we'll do this.
It's like, oh yeah, that did come out Tuesday because it's not scheduled in my head. I just hop on the app.
Oh, I get it.
Like, oh, there's that. Then I'm also watching Echo. I started Echo. Not really through it. I'm only like through half of the first episode, then started doing something else. And so I'm really excited to get through Echo. Also rewatched a lot of like my favorite stuff, like Wild West, Creed, like that kind of stuff. But then Roman Myers had put in a chat somewhere about doing a Power Rangers theme song type of bracket. On the pod, and then we were talking in the chat about Power Rangers a little bit, off and on for like a couple days after we saw that, and so I started rewatching Power Rangers, certain seasons of like 2 seasons of Power Rangers. One was Power Rangers Wild Force, and then the other one was Power Rangers. I'm watching Lightspeed Rescue right now, and so like those are the 2 that they're on YouTube. The full seasons are on there. The full episodes are on there for free.
It's so weird.
You cannot find it anywhere else. Netflix only puts out Mighty Morphin. The rest of them are all. I mean, Mighty Morphin is also on YouTube, but that's where I find all of the Power Ranger stuff.
Huh.
Why? Do we know why that is?
I don't know if it's because Saban, maybe they don't want it on a streamer. I know Netflix was the primary streamer. I also know that they're rebooting Power Rangers
Maybe that's
as a
why.
universe, but I have zero idea.
That's weird.
Because it's not Disney who owns it, so I'm not sure what app that would actually land on. If it would be Peacock,
I wonder if there's a weird like
Amazon.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if it's a weird area where like Netflix owns Mighty Morphin, but Fox and Disney own the rest of that. Like, I wonder if it's a shared ownership by season, so they can't like release all. Who knows? We'd have to go deep into the IP.
I'm looking. So this is just from the Google summary. So like this is from what the AI spit out. I don't know if this is true, but like.
Go on, AI.
What I need to verify here is it says that basically they're on Fubo TV, MGM Plus. There's an Amazon channel. Oh no, that's the same thing as MGM Plus. This is confusing. The Roku Premium channel. So like I'm trying to figure out if basically they got scattered to the winds and whatever low rent streaming service had the most money got that.
Whoever unites all the Rangers gets to wear the Green Ranger costume. It sounds like
yes.
Don't tell me,
which is the best Ranger, by the way. So,
yes,
easily.
Yeah,
I knew it stirred up for you. I knew that.
Darnell is in the chat. Shout out to Darnell. Darnell said Mighty Morphin and Zeo are the best. I'm Mighty Morphin is in its own category because it gave us the OGs. So that's fine. I feel like it's kind of like the rap conversation. When somebody asks me who my favorite artists are, I will give you my favorite artists are right now. I never put Jay-Z in that conversation because Jay-Z is one of the GOATs. Lil Wayne, Jay-Z are those GOATs that are just like inevitable and untouchable. So I never really considered Mighty Morphin when I'm talking about what is the best Power Rangers like series for me. But Zeo is a close second because they could have went further with Zeo and Turbo, but that's just for a different podcast.
Hang on. I need to cut in. So the Power Rangers official YouTube channel streams entire seasons on their YouTube channel every day.
Oh, is that maybe that's what I've been watching.
It's a lot. It is live. As I am talking right now, they are playing. What is this? Super Samurai. Power Rangers Super Samurai.
That's a whack one.
And like you can watch. This is nutty to me.
Doug doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
I mean, after Mighty Morphin, I fell off that cliff.
It's okay.
Doug, I need to tell you, there's a squid face guy with a staff talking to a guy.
I wouldn't show up for the characters. I'm here for the weird fuck villains. Like, I want to be, to be honest with you, I want to be a villain on a future iteration of Power Rangers because I want to be like, what are you doing today, mad scientist Rick? Oh, I took a squid and I mixed it with the encyclopedia. And they're not there to do anything. They're just there to fuck shit up.
They are there to tear.
Anyway, those are your guys. These are your guys, Doug. I'm sharing a picture of this Super Samurai season, and legit, it's like a weird squid dude with the. I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna have nightmares about this.
Yeah, that's gonna give you nightmares. That one that little squiddy dude right here. So here's the thing, Roman. I have been trying to figure out. Now, I do want to answer one of Roman's questions real quick. He said, "What color Power Ranger would each of you be?" I think that's an important question. I'm gonna allow y'all to ponder that. I have been trying to figure out what seasons I'm thinking both of them would relate to a little bit more. Brian, I think yours might be Mystic Force because you like that level of things. He hates the idea of Power Rangers as police.
I do. I loathe it, and I will I would actively fight against it. Yeah,
it makes perfect sense. They've done that. Power Rangers as police route a couple times. It's very weird. It's very strange. And
is Mystic Force the wizards that live in a tree?
Yep, they sure is.
Yeah, that is kind of my vibe.
And they have capes. It's a whole thing. So I think you would like that.
And oh gosh, yeah, we'll do an episode. I feel like this is a prime bracket episode to decide best theme song because I feel like there's a lot of things we need to get into.
Absolutely.
But anyway, I needed to make sure because there's so many. There's so many Power
32 seasons of Power Rangers, I think 32 seasons. So and Doug, I won't be able to figure out what he would like. I don't think he would
Dino Fury Rangers look extra as fuck. They have just so much extra shit around them at all times. Like, why you gotta be so goddamn gaudy about it?
Look up Dino Thunder. I feel like Dino Thunder would be better for just Harrison would like Dino Thunder because that revolves around dinosaurs.
He would like both of them.
There's actually a lot of dinosaur iterations. Anyway, I watch Power Rangers. What color Power Ranger would you all be if you had to pick?
Dino Thunderer is better. But again, their costumes, just what are the fucking chevrons for? Like, you don't need them.
No. Chevrons are cool. Like, no. Chevrons make it. Like,
that's the point, Doug. It's really cool. It's a cool factor.
Yeah, like you show up and they're like that.
I'm telling you, if Zordon's giving me something with frills or chevrons, that big-headed bastard can go straight to hell. I am not interested.
White pale KKK Ghostface stands Zordon. I feel like that you got to remember with Power Rangers, the whole point of Power Rangers really is to sell toys, and that flashy shit is like right up the alley of kids. It was like right up my alley too. So, for me, I always said like the White Ranger is the flyest. Green Ranger was good. He was a badass, but Tommy as the White Ranger was always the flyest, or some black additional Ranger is always like my preferred color. So like the gold Zeo Ranger, it always fire to me because Jason coming back and being the gold Zeo Ranger just made a lot of sense. It was fire to me.
Darnell is correct. So far of the three I've looked at, the Ninjetti costumes are up there. I don't know.
Now look up the Ninjetti because that kind of stems from the Power Rangers movie. That they did, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. Now that is the flyest outfit.
No, I'm sorry.
Yes, accurate.
What are you
accurate?
No way. No,
it's
no
saucy
way.
As hell.
I'm a teenager with attitude, and I am called by Zordon. And he's like, hey, I need you to put on these pajamas with a gold medallion in the middle. Are you good with that to go now fight Lord Zed?
Brian, if he's calling exclusively teenagers with attitude, he's not calling me. Like he's like, hey, I play Magic sometimes. He's like, you'll wear the outfit. We can get you in there right away. You're in there right now.
Zordon
this is not my vibe.
Zordon
I'm happy for
y'all with teenagers. It just doesn't
like
feel
his
right.
interview was like, do you ever go to a Renaissance festival? And they were like, yes, I do. He was like, then I have a costume and some superpowers I'd like to interest you in.
That's not true.
Okay,
everybody on there is cool as fuck. You got the black guy, the Black Ranger that's dancing all the fucking time. You got a white guy who comes in and kicks everybody's ass.
Are these who we're talking about?
Okay, yes. These are the bad pictures. These are from the TV show. Look up the movie version of these
the tree one.
Oh, look, that one in the corner, Brian. Not
the bottom left.
That one is a little bit better. That one's better.
This one?
Yeah, look, hit that one. Look at that. Yeah.
Those are sweet as hell.
Those look good. What the fuck?
No, man. It's just not my vibe. It's not my vibe.
That's really surprising to me.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe, look, Darnell, maybe you can pull this off. I think I'm running into the fact I think I'd look silly in this type of ninja outfit.
You also got to see the story of how
Brian, you're fighting a pirate ship that has a shark tail, a captain's hat, and a skull for a face. What the fuck are you looking cool for? Like I'm sorry to call out the elephant in the room, but you're fighting two books that have been glued together with marshmallow that have googly eyes on the top. And for some reason, his fight is terrorizing downtown San Francisco.
Okay, wait a minute.
You're not like you were.
This feels like a backhanded compliment to the team. Two books glued together with googly eyes. Fuck you, Doug. I love Power Rangers.
I would believe it. I would believe that's a Power Ranger. One was a purse.
Now I did watch an episode that got kind of real. It was like Lightspeed Rescue, and the villains dropped off Roman, I showed them the SPD Shadow Ranger, and Brian was not fucking with it because it was a dog, police dog. It was a police dog. I feel like Lightspeed Rescue. These villains dropped off. They dropped feathers off in the city that turned to bombs when nighttime.
Huh.
That's a terrorist. That's a terrorist attack.
Yeah, that's definitely a post 9/11 Power Ranger story. Like 100%. You're not gonna find that in Mighty Morphin.
I think it was in like 2001, 2002. It was something like that. It was like something.
Yeah, anything after Zeo, right? I think if I'm no, that's not right. No, I got my years mixed up.
Turbo might have been anything after Turbo, I think.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, I'm thinking anything after Turbo.
I mean, and if you look at Turbo and then everything that comes after that, you get post-apocalyptic wasteland Power Rangers. So it kind of tracks.
Now Ninja Storm is also really good. Yes, dude.
Am I mistaken? But in Mighty Morphin, was the Black Ranger just hanging out at a gym a lot?
No. He was at the juice bar. Zach?
Yeah, all of them used to hang at the juice bar or at the school, which had a karate dojo in it.
I mean, now he did.
Right.
He
like
did
every modern gymnasium in the country.
He did break dance.
Thank you. I was gonna say he did dance fighting.
I feel like, I hate to say it, but depending on the day, I feel like my mood is on a sliding scale of Black Ranger to Blue Ranger.
Oh, okay.
I'm never Red Ranger.
Yellow is also an option for you.
I'm not, but I feel like I'm on a sliding scale of blue to black.
Wow, from Mighty Morphin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. For Mighty Morphin.
Oh man, I love Jason.
Are you going by the personality or by like what did you pick?
Yeah, personality. Like Jason was just too popular. I felt like everybody wanted to hang out with Jason. Like everybody was like, "Ooh, Jason, what are we doing today?" And he's like,
"Yeah,
saving the world." I don't need that kind of pressure.
Okay.
Like I don't need that. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Like
we'll face the pressures of being black. Then how about that?
That's fine.
No,
no, you can do it. I don't even know.
No, no, it's not fine. It's not fine. God damn it.
Do you all understand that I just said I would rather take the problems of being black in America as so long as people don't hassle me to make plans for the day? Like,
you know what type of social anxiety you have to be like, I'll take the racism over the social anxiety, please.
Look. Don't have me make any plans. Well, Doug, what if I actively treated you different? That's fine. Just don't ask me to plan shit.
Like Jason didn't even Jason literally mostly did whatever Zordon told him to do, and then he's like, "All right, Rangers, it's time to teleport."
Well, not to mention you got this pretty boy motherfucker walking in and takes over my job and takes my girl. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's such a Tommy came in and he just took over all of Power Rangers.
He did.
You know what I mean? Like that's crazy.
All right, I'm gonna have to fucking rewatch this now.
Yeah,
now I need to know.
Yeah.
I mean,
is there a BuzzFeed quiz I can take?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well I'm gonna take it
or Watch Mojo. There's some up there.
Yeah,
or you could just go to the Power Rangers YouTube channel, and they're it's Power Rangers all the time there.
All the time.
I sent
ads.
Darnell, to my credit, I did send them and ask them to watch Forever Red. Like that one episode, just because I feel like that is a peak Power Rangers episode. Who is that?
He said Jason.
Who said that? Me?
I don't know. I think it might have been me.
I was like, who's Jason?
It might have been between the laughs.
Got it.
What Ranger Doug would choose. I will watch Forever Red. I will. I like the concept. It seems like an Avengers Endgame type situation, but on a TV budget.
To me, it kind of kicked off like the Power Rangers collabing across episodes more. Like you saw it more after that. I think people realized that you like that a lot. But anyway, sorry, that was a lot on Power Rangers. I watched that and then rewatched Static Shock because that's like my shit too.
Yep.
But really didn't. Oh, I watched Rebel Moon. We'll have to take another podcast to discuss Rebel Moon.
I mean, do we? I don't think we do.
It was fine.
I also don't think we do.
Do you want to do it now?
I mean,
we can do it now.
We did all watch Rebel Moon, but we all feel we don't need a whole episode devoted to Rebel Moon,
I would
which
agree.
might tell you might already have your answer about how we feel about Rebel Moon.
It's not bad. I don't want to do that.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It could be better. Zach, I love you. Let me say this. I like you. I like your directing style. I'm a fan of your directing style. You put out a movie, I'll watch it. You have to ease up with the slow-mo, like unnecessary, lots of unnecessary slow-mo. You know what I mean? And I think that everything looked pretty, but you needed some more substance and some more character development. Like if you would have had Zack Snyder and James Gunn team up for this and let James Gunn kind of carry that character development, team building, like that investment into the characters that were made, I think you have a much different movie that could be done. And Zach, you need to put everything out at once. Stop stalling the rated R version and then stalling the sequel. And like it's too much. Just put it all out at once how you want
it. I feel like Rebel Moon, the idea of a Zack Snyder Star Wars it's very interesting to me because I'm fine with it. I enjoy Zack Snyder's style, which I know is like sometimes faux pas, but like I enjoy it for what it is. And this movie is everything Zack Snyder. It is everything that people have complained about him about. It is everything people like about him.
It's true.
And there were points in this movie where I will say my wife said, "Wow, this is gratuitous," in reference to the slow-mo. Which it is a little bit, but did I enjoy it? I did. It's very clear. Here's just a trend I'm seeing, and Zack Snyder's not the only one doing it, but I feel like since 2020, and I don't know if like something like people at like directors, whoever, like I don't know, they reflected on their mortality and they're like, life's too short to take notes, and they just went full auteur filmmaker, and they're like, I don't really care. And the person I'm going to talk about here is Christopher Nolan, because nobody understands Tenet. I don't think Nolan understands Tenet.
Nope,
and I feel like this was the start of filmmakers just being like, we could all go tomorrow. Here's my weird movie. And I kind of appreciate it because I like risks. And this feels in the same category. Like, I don't know who these people are. You have given me no reason to care about them, but that guy's riding a weird pterodactyl cockroach, and that's cool.
Yeah.
It is all vibes. It is all vibes. I hit my mic just to emphasize this. It's all vibes. And that's, you got to be in that mood. And if you're one of those people that's like, I don't like to turn off my brain when I watch a movie, this ain't for you.
Brother.
Just hit pass.
There was some type of crow, horse, Mustang that somebody had to tame and ride in a mountain. Like
what looked like a griffin.
Yeah,
griffin, it was a griffin.
It looked like pigeon, horse.
Griffin.
Yeah,
if I remember what a griffin is.
I think I'm thinking of a different.
Was it actually a griffin? I thought it was it a
griffins
eagle face?
Griffins are, if I'm not mistaken, part eagle, part lion, right?
Oh yeah, no, that's right. Part eagle, part
I love
bird.
griffins. So it's the body of a lion and then the wings and the head of an eagle.
That's
10 points to Gryffindor.
So then, yes, it was a griffin.
Yeah.
Here's look. This movie has its fine energy. Like it's fine. Like it's fine.
It's okay.
Here's my biggest beef with this is that there are moments in this movie where someone shows up, and had I not been watching it on a plane with subtitles, I wouldn't have known who the fuck that was supposed to be.
That's a good point.
So here's my best example of this.
Good point.
The Blood X siblings.
Okay, the rebel leaders.
The rebel leaders.
Okay.
This whole movie is like, it's going along. Okay, cool. Then they get to the crazy Squid Man planet, and they're like, okay, cool, we're gonna be here. And then like they cut, like they literally like cut, And these two people in war paint show up and they're like, oh yeah, you're gonna make that choice. And I'm like, who the fuck is this? Like, and so the only reason why is because on my subtitles it goes Ravonna Blood Axe. I was like, oh, so that's who that is? Like those that's who that's supposed to be? Like
Yes.
And so
Like
there were moments where it was just like hard right now. And you're like, wait, why? Because so
even the ending, like spoiler alert for those that may care.
Like spoilers. I mean,
it's been out for a month, right?
About give or take coming up 1 month, I think. I think the ending kind of like solidifies all of that thought process because it's like the villain goes and meets the head villain, the little minion villain, main villain goes and meets the head villain in what seems to be Antarctica or another plane
dreamscape
death, and nobody explained. Like, I knew that the minion villain was dead, so okay, maybe this is an afterlife, but who is the other motherfucker and is he sick? Is this person dead? But he said bring that said person to me, and I'm like, how the fuck? I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, none of it
I had several of those questions as well.
It could have taken another pass on some story notes, I think.
And like the resurrection droplet, they're like, okay, pump the droplet through like full of energy. And I'm like, wait, is that just like viscous fluid? Like,
don't worry about it.
Supposed to be?
Don't worry about it. I do want to say one thing I really enjoyed about Rebel Moon was Sophia Boutella. She's so good in this movie. She is so much fun to watch. She is bulked out. I really hope she drinks some water because she definitely looks dehydrated with some of the shots they were getting of her. And honestly, I wish we could have had a little bit more of her in the movie. Very clearly, this movie is setting up who these 7 people are, and she's just kind of along for the ride, which I was like, I want to know what she thinks about this.
As the lead, how are you along?
As the lead,
how are you along for the ride? It's a great question.
So I hope more of her.
Yeah, I had a lot of questions about this. This movie is like, hey, Zach sat at a big pot and he threw in
a pot.
He threw in a D&D manual.
Yes.
Then he threw in the Fellowship of the Ring.
Right.
Okay.
And then he threw in Farscape and he threw in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And what he had left was Rebel Moon. Like, and a little bit of Chronicles of Riddick in there as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good call out.
Because all of those Inquisitors, I was like, this feels like Chronicles of Riddick. Like, that's what this feels like. Right now.
Well, and it's funny because like in Star Wars, right, they're just kind of like, all these guys are stormtroopers and they kind of look like Germans, but like this movie's like,
they're German
space Nazis, just in case you need to know this. And honestly, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I feel like people need to know that they're bad guys. We shouldn't, but it's good.
The way that they dressed, to a certain extent, the way that they kind of talked. The one thing that I think as a cinematographer, Zack Snyder is top notch, because like the way that he shot, anytime that you saw the I forgot what the damn villains were actually called, but Daddy's something.
They kept calling him the mother planet.
Yes, motherfuckers.
The mother planet. Yeah.
So the motherfuckers, every time they shot them on the thing, they were always gray or in monotone or in something like that. But whenever they shot anything else, it was like a lot more colorful and it was a lot more, you know what I mean? I don't know if that was on purpose or like just how they shot it. I think you had a lot. It's not terrible. It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, if I could go back and catch him before they put out 2, like maybe you should revisit and kind of give a little bit more here. Also, if you're going to be, I don't know if he said this or somebody else said this. This is my last critique, and I'm gonna talk about the last thing I watched. But if you are going to, if this thing gets labeled as a Zack Snyder Star Wars or a rated R Star Wars, right? Let's say that Zack Snyder said that. Maybe he did not say that, but let's say Zack Snyder said it.
I said it.
One of the things, no, and other people also said it. Came out from somebody.
Fucking Brian said it.
He started the goddamn rumor. But I feel like Star Wars has lightsabers. Let's just start there.
Yep.
Right. And Star Wars has Jedis, lightsabers, Sith. There are clear lines in the sand, right? What I think was missing for me, just a little component, was a weapon that is certifiably a Rebels moon weapon, which I thought was going to be her gun, or the swords that the I forgot the name of
the sword lady,
the sword lady that fought a spider tarantula
assassin. Yeah.
So like I feel like I was just missing that. Oh, these are the iconic weapons we're going to use. You know what I mean? Like we didn't get that.
No, you're right. You're right. When that assassin lady shows up, I was like, oh, this is like where it's gonna get iconic. And then she never used them
again.
And I was like, man, it feels like you're kneecapping one of your best things here. Like those are so cool. I want to see more of those.
Well, her gun, the lead actress's gun was a golden, beautiful, big ass gun. You know what I mean? And it gets referenced like we saw this on you when you landed here.
That's right.
I thought it was going to be something spectacular that happens with the gun, but we never had that moment anywhere throughout.
I mean, it looks cool.
Nemesis is her name.
Nemesis.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So, I mean, you're right though, Marcus. They gave that a lot of attention. And like you saw the etching and the gold, and then it didn't really get highlighted at all.
Yeah, they're doing too much of this, like they're doing way too much of this, like neutral, chaotic neutral, lawful good. Like they're doing far more like character archetypes with this than they necessarily need to.
And introduced a lot of components in the first movie. Like you need to focus on. I know you had to do your Avengers. We're gonna gather the 7 deal. Like like cool. But then you don't even use the general who's good at war. That didn't make any sense because you didn't need him. Maybe that could have waited for the second movie to introduce that character. Or
also,
I don't know.
Can we talk about the squid that the main villain was getting drugged by, fixed by?
Yep, that was cool.
Were they having sex? What was that?
I don't know.
He was definitely getting high.
They
That's what
just
I got
walked in there, and that squid was.
No,
it was just a lot.
If I was giving notes, I'd be like, this stays in no matter what.
More of the squid. Okay. More squid, please.
It was like
not even more, just enough to make you go, what the hell is that? And then
that was good.
The next thing.
Also, the actor that plays that villain, Ed Skrein, he was in Deadpool. He played the main villain in Deadpool. He played Francis. He's awesome as a villain. I just love the energy he brings to his villain roles.
His weapon, like that's the thing with the villain. The villain had a weapon of choice. Whatever that bone, the golden bone that he was like cracking motherfuckers' skulls with. I'll tell you the one that got me the most was when he cracked the skull of the Squid King on the planet.
And the tentacle,
you could see the tentacle fall off. I was like, he's because that weapon with the villain, it captured that brute force that he had. And we needed that with the other characters to see what weapons or skills that they had that tied into it. That's just me. Yeah. And then the last thing I watched after Rebel Moon was I've been on the I'll keep talking about this app because I think it's one of the best apps that I pay for. Is Dropout.
Okay.
formerly known as College Humor. And Dimension 20, I've been watching all of the D&D Dimension 20 episodes and shows. Primarily led by Abria Arangar and Brandon Lee Mulligan. They are the two that are usually the dungeon masters. But if you like D&D and you like to watch like this comedians playing D&D that are also fans of D&D, they have about 8 different types of series on there, and I've watched all of them. They have like a Crown of Candy, Ravening War. Right now they have the premiere for their Fantasy High version, their season 3 of Fantasy High. And so it's really, really good. You can always go on YouTube and just look at these before you go to like purchase or watch clips. But I've really been enjoying that. That's been like a highlight for me. And I kind of want to play some D&D like at the way that they play it, like this nice, fun type.
I have an entry point for D&D for you that will work quite well. Actually,
we could even do it as a bonus episode.
We could. The other thing you could do is, Marcus, you could always come over and play some Baldur's Gate because it's basically a video game version of D&D.
Yeah,
that is basically what
that is. I like that.
From character build to the way in which that you roll for. Like there are moments in Baldur's Gate where you just roll for shit. It's like any type of time that you're trying to use like your charisma or your intelligence, it's literally like press triangle to roll the D20.
I actually like that a lot because that's my favorite part of watching this shit. If life could to some extent operate like I roll a goddamn D20 or I roll like I got to roll a dice to kind of see what I get, like a nat 1 would be kicking my ass, but like a natural 20 would be like, yeah, you get whatever the fuck you want off a natural 20.
And what I sometimes get like bogged down in, and what sometimes can be feel really cumbersome, it did for me the first time that I played D&D. It's the mechanics of how you fight and having to roll dice for like, oh, you're using a bow.
Yeah.
You have 2 shots. Roll for your first. Roll for your second.
Yeah.
Like I always found that to be like really kind of hard to get into.
Same.
And what I like about Baldur's Gate is it takes that out of it, and it says like it's all how the story progresses in the conversation, none of the like it's all sort of baked into the code underneath.
I really like that.
Yeah,
I'm down to play some D&D. I'm down to play Baldur's Gate.
Plus you get dick physics with Baldur's Gate, which I didn't think was a real life thing, so there you go.
Wow.
I just wanted to find a way to work that into our conversation.
I mean,
because I, being the naive man that I was, so I got this game and it's a lot of fun to play. Like I am deep in it. Like I am in it. And during the character build, there is a moment where I was like, oh fuck, sweet. I can make it. I made a character. His name's Tito. He is a wood elf archer that I'm really excited about.
Excellent.
Yep. He's a little bit of a charlatan, so he's a little bit of the little mischievous side, which fits Tito.
Yep, that fits
well.
Tito.
There's a moment that you're designing his face, you're designing his hair, you're designing his body, and then it has this moment where it's like select which type of penis.
It told you that?
You can pick from like 6 different penises
on the game.
Yes.
You got to roll a dice for it?
No, it's a slider. And if you're like, and here's the thing, at first I was like,
the biggest, you go the biggest. Oh,
not even that. Not even that. I was just like, what's the point? Like, what's the point of designing this? I'm not gonna see his dick. So like, why am I making this decision? But then there is a toggle during the character creation where you can take this motherfucker's clothes just off and to see. And when you turn him around to like spin him around,
does it swing?
Fucker moves.
Wow, that's good game animation right there.
So when I say you could experience dick physics,
I mean,
you could experience dick physics.
Quite simply, there is a developer or a video game designer where like that's what they did for months.
Not for Brian, the better part of a year.
You remember what's his name asking, did Vision have a dick? That really led up.
That is exactly what this is. And I don't even say that to be like gross, but like it's just like one of those things where I was like, why is this a thing? But it's a thing.
I do feel like some of the games
at least twice because I couldn't believe it was happening.
Gotta confirm
it. There's part of me where some like developers know that we're gonna talk about it, right?
True.
And because it happened in Cyberpunk too for a little bit. And I do feel like it's the shock value thing. And it's like, I mean, if you want that level of customization, I'm not here to tell you like how to shape yourself, like whatever, man. Like it's your gaming experience. But I do feel like nobody asked for it.
No.
But that's just me.
I think that's not true. How much I've seen from D&D just by watching this shit, everything is what I think I like about D&D, and the reason I decided to commit to fully like watching this specific thing is because it's helping me with like the music that I'm writing, because you have to be descriptive in the way that you describe your character, how they build their characters, what they look like, what they have on, because then it plays a part. Like, oh, if you have a character that has a cape on and they decide they want to jump off said thing, then the dungeon master or the game leader is like, oh, don't forget you got to roll with disadvantage because you have that cape and that goes against. So like, it connects and tell this story in a way. So I understand why you want to personalize and build these characters from literally the ground up. That's hilarious. But I definitely
and that's and I will say
great addition
to the game's credit. the narrator, the way the story unfolds is there's a central narrator that's sort of describing what's going on. That in a case would be your dungeon master.
Got it.
So it's like you are walking into a room. It looks dank. It looks terrible. And yes, the visual is there for me to see it, but the narrator adding that, like what it smells like, what it sounds like, adds a whole other level to like, I get why this game's been so highly reviewed, because the level of detail that has been put in it is huge,
which I think more games should have. If you
agreed,
if you
drop $70 on a game.
Well, this is why I think it's weird. Well, we'll probably get there to that Ready Player One type status eventually. You know what I mean? But I could see a world that I would enjoy as a non-video game player. And maybe it's a bad world that I'm wishing up here, but like a fully customizable character that you just could build once and bounce between games, and you play that. You play your basically scanned character like they do for NBA 2K, like they do for Baldur's Gate, like they do for Harry Potter. But you do it just the same character, almost. It's you just playing these roles that people would then develop. I think would be like a cool premise to me. That's just to me though.
Yeah, I get behind that.
I get it.
Yeah, I get behind that. Things that I watched in addition is, and I know we're close to the 90-minute monster, but there's two.
Bring that motherfucker on.
That's two. There's two. So like I rewatched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 on the plane, which was a great rewatch. I rewatched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem only up until the point where the turtle says he's mollywopping me, because there was after the day that I had on that plane, I was like, I need to enjoy this. So literally the plane's coming into Puerto Rico and I'm like, fucking wait. Like I want to like get to that part. Just get to that part. So I was very excited. And then I watched Murder on the Orient Express.
Okay. How'd that go for you?
I really enjoyed that. I'm actually really enjoying these like Agatha Christie, Poirot like type mysteries. They're really good. And Kenneth Branagh is very good at them. I watched this one after I watched Death on the Nile with my parents at Christmas time. When I got high with my parents at Christmas time by accident.
Excellent. Wait, no, you can't.
Go back.
How was it an accident?
Damn the review. Talk about the getting high.
So my brother went to a brewery and bought a THC seltzer.
Amazing.
That I drank 3/4 of because my wife was like, that's a lot. Don't drink any more of that. And I say it was an accident because it kind of like crept up on me where I suddenly had a moment where I was like, oh, fuck, I'm high. Like it's kind of one of those moments. And here's what happened. We're watching this movie called Death on the Nile. And out loud, I said, with my mother to the right of me and my wife to the left and my dad sitting in the chair across, I could say, I bet that captain's in denial about all the murders that are going on. And I laughed for the better part of 10. You guys, I was crying. I was laughing so hard. I thought that was so funny. I was in tears to the point my mom goes like, okay, it wasn't really that funny. And I said, I'm sorry. Like, and so after that, and then I also had the post high anxiety the next day. I kept looking at Brittany. I was like, Brittany, how did that movie end? Like, I don't remember how that movie ended. And it was an alarming moment because I usually remember how most movies ends. We have a movie podcast. It'd be weird if I was bad at that. Like, it would be really weird if I was bad at that. But I couldn't remember it. But then I like had this like suddenly like, oh no, that's who did it. Got it. Like, so it was just a moment. But that's my story. So that's what I watched.
Wow,
I'm glad
amazing.
You were able to experience that. Yeah,
it was an exciting time.
I want more of that for you. And
it would be very funny to me.
It'll really change your life. It'll really change your life.
Mm-hmm. It really will.
Into the Spider-Verse really blew and rocked my socks off when I watched it.
My brother started watching Into the Spider-Verse like after that movie was over because my brother was home. And I started and I was like, nope, I gotta go to bed. Like
as soon as Green Goblin shows up in Into the Spider-Verse, and if you're a little high, that's gonna mess with you.
Brian, it was Across the Spider-Verse we were watching.
Sorry.
And I made it through the old school Vulture before I was like, No, I think I need to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Like,
that paper world, old school paper vulture would
blew
throw
my
me for a
mind.
loop. Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally get the vibe of like, this is too much.
Yeah.
Because if you're not going to make
Percy
it
Jackson,
through the Da Vinci universe, you're not making it through
Nope.
the Indian. Or I think
Yes.
that I can't remember how they
I
phrased it.
think
Pavita Patel's
the
world.
Bollywood universe.
Yes.
Yeah. Gentlemen, anything else we want to talk about on this particular episode? We've talked about it all.
Look, I watched the animated Harley Quinn on HBO Max, and I just want to give that show a shout out. It's very good.
It's good.
Go watch it. If you like this podcast, you're gonna love that show.
Yep. Yep. Ron Funches as King Shark is my favorite. He is so that just knowing his personality and then hearing it come out. I also love what they did to Bane. Like Bane is such he's just the best. Awesome. Gentlemen, anything that you all would like to plug this week?
I'm queuing up the music.
Good, do it.
All right.
Brian, go ahead. What do you got?
I'm here to tell you about Color Me Confetti, my wife's Etsy shop for party decorations. You can head straight to Etsy, type in Color Me Confetti, go check out that shop, get those party decorations.
Ooh, absolutely. Marcus, what do you got?
Oh, you know what the deal is, baby. Shit ain't changed. It's a new year, but it's still the same mantra, baby. Follow the mantra. Never offended, always humble. Soul Tie is dropping music right now. We just had a great phone call last night. We're both working on our projects. I'm working on my project. The last time I was on here, I called it Big Fella. We have changed the name to Love and War. So the next project is going to be called Love and War. It's going to be a collection of love songs and raps. So it's going to be really good. But whatever you do, follow the mantra. Never offended, always humble. Hit the link in our bio. Hit the link in my bio on all my socials. Marcus J. Destin. Go buy yourself some clothes. We're going to bring that price down so everybody can follow the mantra and wear the mantra and sport the mantra. But until then, you know what I mean? You know what it is.
Absolutely. Shout out to Maggie for Color Me Confetti. Shout out to Soul Tie for all the good stuff he's doing. Shout out to y'all. I have to plug this podcast. So if you're enjoying this, if you're ready to go on this adventure with us, season 5, share us with a friend or a family member. That is the best way that we grow. Also, if you'd like to sign up for the Patty family, head over to patreon.com/filmsinblackandwhite and sign up there. Participate and catch that quotable as well as the other fun things we do with that group over there. Gentlemen, we have a 3-step process to success.
That's a fact,
Brian, what is the first step?
Hey, folks, read a book. Just any book, and make a goal for yourself. If you're one of those people that goals motivate you, this is a great time to do that. You set a reading goal for the year and just pick a number, any number, no pressure. Like it could be 10 and call it a day. Read a book.
That is absolutely. Marcus, what is that second step, sir?
You already know what it is. Make sure you drink your water, whether it has flavor or no flavor. Make sure you drink your water. If you decide to do it, make sure you drink your water with Circle. It's the best brand out, best way to get your water consumption in. Drink some water.
Absolutely. And that last step is, look, y'all, it is cold outside, but that is not an excuse to not wash your ass. If you think that the must and the stink gets killed by cold, you are incorrect. No. And as you make sure you take care of your legs, your whole body, because it's really, really important.
In between the toes too.
Yeah, please. All of them, everywhere. And afterward, put some lotion on because the air is going to suck all that moisture right out, and you are going to get dry skin. So
my knuckles are dry.
Yeah, my elbows, and my legs. But yeah, wash your ass. It's really, really important.
Roman said step 4 is high five someone you love, and we love that. We love that. Thank you for joining us for season 5. Thank you for being here through seasons 1 through 4. We're going to elevate this shit to a whole new level. You know what I mean? But we need your help to do that every week.
Absolutely. So that does it for this week's episode of Films in Black and White. We'll be back for another fantastic episode. But in the meantime, in the between time, stay safe, stay healthy. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We'll catch y'all next week. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, baby.